What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue, and it has been 2 years that we have fought for this. It has been 2 years that I've been wanting to say this, but it's finally here, guys. The day is here. We are going to get Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it comes from the man himself, Zack Snyder, this morning. Now, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out right here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Is this stereo?
Very nice. Yeah. Get the hell out of here. Oh my god.
So that's coming.
There's a little thing there, you know.
It's a little thing. It's not to be
thing.
too what do you call it? You know.
Don't get too hyped up about it.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I mean, the good news is
Well,
there's one little piece of bad news, and that is that it'll probably be in 21, the actual release, because we gotta.
So there you have it, from the man himself, Zack Snyder, along with Henry Cavill on the stream. He says that his version of Justice League is coming to HBO Max in 2021. Now, this is kind of a reaction video. It's a little late, I know. I am currently back at work full-time at the moment, so I didn't get to watch the live stream this morning. I know that there were a lot of interesting tidbits going on. I did log on to a Film Gob stream. Thanks, shout out to Film Gob. To watch the beginning portion of the Man of Steel watch party before I went into work. But I didn't get to watch the whole thing. But luckily, as I got off of filming an exercise class that I was in charge of, I got off transitioning into a meeting. But right before the meeting, I was able to log back on and catch this clip of Zack Snyder actually announcing his movie. This was mind-blowing. I couldn't even concentrate during the meeting. So I had to turn it off, but I saved the clip, ready to share it with you guys. I'm pretty sure Darren's going to do his own kind of reaction video. I think he's going to talk about the Hollywood Reporter article that I will also talk about in this video, just in case you don't see Darren's reaction or Darren's video. But I wanted to share it with you guys and just let you guys know how awesome this is, and just a shout out to all you guys who have been big supporters of this movement. And I'm not the only one who's hyped for this, right? We got people from the Justice League tweeting this morning about this whole situation. So first of all, Henry Cavill, who was on the stream with Zack Snyder, and this announcement happened at the very, very, very end of the stream. So a lot of people, I think, were even worried that no announcement was going to take place. But here's what Henry Cavill had to say on social media right after the announcement. He says, "Just had a little chat with Zack Snyder after a Man of Steel watch party. Ladies and gents, it finally happened. The Snyder Cut will be out next year. Now, I know there have been two camps over the whole Snyder Cut thing, and whatever it will ever happen for a while." I'm not sure if that made sense. "Just remember, we all get to have more Justice League now. It's a win-win. So be nice to each other," smiley face. "Big congratulations to you, Mr. Snyder." And hashtag release the Snyder Cut, hashtag Zack Snyder, hashtag Justice League. Now, the interesting thing about this is, of course, is Henry Cavill was one of those people who did not hashtag release the Snyder Cut on that big day that the release of Snyder Cut movement, like really poured in support. There was one day where we were trending on Twitter, I think it was in November, and he was the only, I think, Justice League member that didn't hashtag release the Snyder Cut. So that was very curious, but like he says on his post, especially for all the naysayers out there, and we had a ton of you guys on the channel for a while, hey, it's all good. It doesn't matter now. Now you guys know you guys were wrong. We were right. But let's all come together. No hard feelings, because I welcome you guys all in. Have no hard feelings at all. But we are going to get the cut. Let's just enjoy it. And whether or not you like the cut, it's a different thing. But this is all about, an artist being able to enact his vision. So Henry Cavill, it didn't seem like he was a big supporter at the time. Now we see he's on board, which is all good. So that's what he had to post on social media. Who else did we get to post? Ray Fisher puts on social media, for those who fought, for those who believed, thank you. So of course, the Hollywood Reporter article talks about how Ray Fisher was one of the first people Zack Snyder called to say, hey, we might need some extra footage, or need you to come in to do some extra work. And I'll kind of read the quote in a second. Who else posted? Of course, the man, Aquaman himself, Pride of Gypsies on Instagram. He says, "We want, finally, it's happening. You're welcome. Justice served. All my aloha to everyone who made this happen, all the fans, we love you, aloha Jay. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut, HBO Max, and Zack Snyder. And if you guys saw his Instagram post yesterday, it was absolutely hilarious. He knew this was going to happen. He was calling for it, and we finally got it. And he was one of the first people to be like, you know, release the effing Snyder Cut. He said it in interviews, even when it seemed like nothing was official yet. And during the timeline, yeah, nothing was official. Zack Snyder had screened it to him, and he was championing Zack Snyder for giving him the opportunity to play Aquaman, and I really love Jason Momoa for that. Outside of that, here's what else we got. Let's hop on. This is what I recorded right when it happened, or at least right when I hopped online after the announcement. There are many more likes and retweets since this, but as you can see right here, HBO Max tweeted it out. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut only on HBO Max in 2021, and look who liked it. Right off the bat, before anyone else could like it, we got Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, and Zack Snyder. And I'm sure at this point there are thousands and thousands more likes. But if you just scroll down, you can see how excited people are. I'm not sure why I think it was Good Times. Someone put a Good Times thing, Robert Pattinson, on there. I forgot what the quote was, but there's a lot of people so excited about this, true fans that have been waiting for this day. You know, there was a lot of great tidbits coming out of that Man of Steel watch party. If you had some interesting ones that I didn't get to see, drop them down in the comments, please. But yeah, that's my favorite superhero movie of all time. Henry Cavill's my favorite Superman. I've been anticipating this Justice League movie since day one, and the moment BVS came out, it just seemed like there was a world of possibilities, and that Zack Snyder was going to create something special with Justice League. And of course, we didn't get it because of studio meddling. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of quotes from this Hollywood Reporter article that I think does a really awesome job of summarizing some of the stuff. Darren is also going to cover it. He's going to give his thoughts on it. And I think, especially because both of us are at work, we didn't get together, especially during this time of quarantine, didn't get a chance to cover it together. But rest assured, we were texting each other when this was happening while we were in our meetings saying, oh, we're both doing videos on this. So maybe we'll get a video together soon, hopefully, maybe a Zoom video, but we'll talk about it together. Here's the headline, or kind of the sub-headline of this Hollywood Reporter article. HBO Max will debut the project in 2021, possibly in a 4-hour director's cut or in a 6 TV-style chapters as the helmer gets the gang back together with the original post-production crew to score, cut, and finish visual effects. So awesome. Okay, so since I know Darren's going to cover this article a little bit more detail, I'm just going to read over some parts that I thought was really interesting. In this article, Zack Snyder says, you probably saw only 1/4 of what I did. And that is a story that we've heard from people who've worked on the project, that this wasn't the movie that I shot. And I think even for one of the secondary directors, I think it was, he said he almost cried during the screening because of what he saw in the actual movie. Let's go. Deborah Snyder says in the article, with the new platform and streaming services, you can have something like this. You can't release something like this theatrically, but you could with the streaming service. It's an opportunity that wasn't there 2 years ago, to be honest. And this goes to my point in my previous video on Wednesday where I speculated, while I'd be super hyped to get a 4-hour cut of the movie and sit through 4 hours of, gloriousness, and I think it was 214 minutes is what he officially said his cut was. I think there could be a lot of possibilities with breaking this stuff up into chapters, especially with him getting a $20 to $30 million dollars extra to add all the things he wants in. I think we can get a lot more material. So that makes total sense what Deborah Snyder has to say about it. And a little snippet from the article says, Snyder also spent April and May reaching out to a sizable cast, giving a heads up on new development and letting them know their services may be needed. The first person called, Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg, he was like, you're kidding me, right? Recalls Zack. And then at the end of the article, it says, and while the cut will contain many elements Zack has teased over the years, yes, expect Darkseid, the duo will relish in a fair amount of character development. What's so lovely about this is that we get to explore these characters in ways that you're not able to in a shorter theatrical version. So, what I just said earlier. And it says, the Snyders know that fan power is what led to the Snyder Cut becoming a reality. Clearly, this wouldn't be happening without them, says Zack. He also credits Warner's for living up to its old reputation as a filmmaker's studio. Adds Zack, this return to that pedigree and to let my singular vision of my movie be realized in this format, in this length. It's unprecedented and it's a brave move. So I applaud you, Warner Brothers. Credit to where credit is due, and now I know this is all a business thing and it's really about making that money on HBO Max, right? But when the stars align and it all works out and everyone ends up happy, I can't complain, right? So I'm just super happy about this, guys. I'm so hyped. All of the fighting over the past 2 years has led up to this moment, and it just feels so satisfying. So did you guys watch the watch party? Let me know if you did down below. Let me know some interesting new facts you found out about Man of Steel, and there's more to talk about for sure. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.